Hello everyone, myself Arvahita, Assistant Professor of CSE Department from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. I am here to discuss a few topics of the subject CS 8592 Object Oriented Analysis and Design. We are going to discuss about the topics structural patterns, bridge and the adapter. The objective is to learn about the concepts of the structural bridge and adapter. First, let us know about the structural patterns. Structural patterns help to identify and describe the relation between the entities. They also address how the classes and objects are composed to form the large structures. The class-oriented pattern gives the inheritance to compose the interfaces and implementation. Object-oriented patterns describe the ways to compose the objects to realize new functionality possibility by changing the composition at runtime. These design patterns concern the class and object composition. Concept of the inheritance is used to compose the interfaces and define ways to compose objects to obtain the new functionalities. So first we have to know about adapter, bridges, composite, like these things. So adapter, so it matches the interfaces of different classes, which converts the interface of a class into another interface clients, except adapter lets the classes work together that couldn't otherwise because of incompatible interfaces. Bridge, which separates an object's interface from its implementation. It decouples an abstraction from its implementation so that two can vary independently. The composite, a tree structure of simple and composite objects that compose objects into three structures to represent the part-whole hierarchies. It composite lets the clients to treat individual objects and compositions of objects uniformly. And about decorator, it adds the responsibilities to the objects dynamically. It attaches the additional responsibilities to an object dynamically. Decorators provide a flexible alternative to subclass for extending functionality. Facade, a single class that represents an entire subsystem, which provides a unified interface to a set of interfaces in the system. Facade defines a higher level interface that makes the subsystem easier to use. Flyweight, a fine-grained instance used for efficient sharing. Use sharing to support large numbers of fine-grained objects efficiently. A flyweight is a shared object that can be used in multiple contexts simultaneously. The flyweight acts as an independent object in each context. It's indistinguishable from an instance of the object that's not shared. Proxy, an object representing another object, we call it as a proxy, provide a surrogate or a placeholder for another object to control the access to it. Now let us see about bridge design pattern. The bridge design pattern allows us to separate the abstraction from the implementation. It is a structural design pattern. There are two parts in the bridge design pattern, that is abstraction and implementation. This is a design mechanism that encapsulates an implementation class inside the interface class. The bridge pattern allows the abstraction and the implementation to be developed independently, and the client code can access only the abstraction part without being concerned about the implementation part. The abstraction is an interface or abstract class, and the implementer is also an interface or abstract class. This is a diagram which shows the UML diagram for bridge design pattern. It increases the low coupling between the class abstraction and the implementation. So we have the abstraction here, implementer, concrete implementer, and refined abstraction. Let us see about the elements of bridge design pattern. Abstraction. Core of the bridge design pattern is the abstraction, and it defines the crux, which contains the reference to the implementer. The refined abstraction means which extends the abstraction, takes the finer detail in one level below, which hides the finer elements from the implementers. So we have to know about implementer. Implementer, it defines the interface for implementation classes. This interface does not need to correspond directly to the abstraction phase and can be very different. Abstraction improves or provides an implementation in terms of operations provided by the implementer interface. Complement concrete implementation, which implements the above implementer by providing the concrete implementation. Generic UML diagram for bridge design pattern. This is a diagram which shows the generic UML diagram. So let us see when we need the bridge design pattern. The bridge design pattern is an application of the old advice, that is, prefer composition over inheritance. It becomes handy when you must subclass different times in ways of the orthogonal with one another. So this is a diagram which represents the without bridge design pattern, that is, bus and bike comes under vehicles, where bus has a produced bus or assemble bus, okay, and bike can be an assemble bike or a produced bike. So this is the without bridge design pattern. So now we can see about with bridge design pattern. You can solve the above problem by decoupling the vehicle and the workshop interface in the below manner. That is, vehicle which is leading to the workshop. So vehicle can be bus and bike, and workshop can be produce and assemble, okay. So this is with bridge design pattern. So we have a bridge between vehicle and the workshop. Now let us see about adapter. Adapter pattern. The adapter pattern convert the interface of a class into another interface client except. So adapter lets the classes works together that couldn't otherwise because of the incompatible interfaces. This is a diagram which shows the adapter pattern. To use the adapter, the client makes a request to the adapter by calling a method on it using the target interface. The adapter translates that request on the adaptee using the adapt interface. Client receives the results of the call and is unaware of adapter's presence. The client sees only the target interface and not the adapter. The adapter implements the target interface, which delegates all the requests to the adaptee. Thank you.